Tuberculosis, the disease many believed was under control, remains one of the world's deadliest infectious killers. In 2024 alone, an estimated 1.3 million people died from TB, a sobering reminder of the work that still lies ahead. Speaking during the TB Reach Dissemination held in Lusaka on Wednesday, Professor Helen Ailes, Director of Research at Zambart, expressed deep concern that Zambia is falling behind in the fight against TB.
1.3 million people died of TB last year, despite the fact that TB is entirely curable and we can prevent it. And so this is an absolute travesty, in my view. Now, TB is a very interesting disease because with TB you can be infected and you can live with that infection for decades before you actually get disease. And it's estimated that a quarter of the world's population has been infected with TB. We used to say is infected. The problem is we don't have good tests to test for infection. So we don't know that people who have been infected, whether they're still infected, because you can clear the infection yourself. But those are people who are potentially at risk of going on and developing TB disease. And I know sometimes that concept is a little bit difficult for people to grasp, the fact that you get infected and then it just sits there and maybe doesn't do anything. But that's really important for today's discussion. Zambia is one of the 30 highest burden countries in the world, and so TB is very important to us in Zambia. And unfortunately, I think Dr. Mabanga has been held up, otherwise he would have told us about what's going on in Zambia right now.
Research shows a direct link between HIV and TB vulnerability, and experts say the risks are compounded by gaps in prevention and access to timely treatment. Zambart Principal Investigator and Acting Executive Director Dr. Kwame Shonobe underscored the importance of tuberculosis preventive treatment, or TPT, in halting the progression of latent infections to active disease.
Zambart has historically focused on TB and HIV. As many of you may know, this is a big focus of the work that we do. And today we're going to share our final results from the Ugube TB infection trial, which is called a pragmatic parallel-arm randomized controlled trial evaluating the role and performance of novel TB skin tests and interferon gamma release assay for the initiation of TB preventive therapy in Zambia.
The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals aim to end the global TB epidemic by 2030, with ambitious targets to reduce TB deaths by 90% and incidence by 80%. But with time ticking, health professionals say Zambia must act fast. From expanding screening services to increasing access to preventive treatment, experts believe a united front is key if Zambia is to overcome TB. And with just 5 years to 2030, the message is clear: the time to act is now. James Chanda, Revelation News.